Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May. Welcome to Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach, lash educator, and social media manager for salons and beauty businesses. I'm so happy that you're here. Let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. Welcome to this week's episode of Lash Biz Babes, and welcome to 2025, our very first episode of the year, and I am so excited to be back again with you guys in the new year. I hope everything went really well wrapping up 2024 for you, and I thought the perfect way to kick off our podcast episodes for the year would be to talk about like yearly planning, right? Because if you're anything like me or millions of other people out there, you've probably set some goals for yourself in the new year, and specifically some business goals for yourself, which hopefully you have set some business goals for yourself. If you haven't, this is a good time of year to be sitting down and figuring out what that is, because the goals that get hit are the ones that you plan and you prepare for. So if you don't have that set out and mapped out, it's harder to hit those and know what exactly do I need to be doing each day, each week, each month, each quarter to be able to hit those goals, so that by the end of the year, you are patting yourself on the back because you did the damn thing. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is some yearly planning. And I'm just going to give you a look into how I do it for myself and my business and for my lash business when I was doing lashes, and like how I do it for my business now as well, because I did sit down and do my yearly planning one of the last weekends of 2024. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw on my Instagram stories where I had been working on that. So if we aren't already friends on Instagram, head on over to Instagram at XO Erica Schramm. I share some different like behind the scenes type of things over there, and it's just fun to get to connect with you guys on Instagram too, and like talk more with you in the DMs. Feel free to reach out anytime. So yeah, I wanted to give you just an inside look on what my process looks like for it. I know everyone's is different. If you don't already have a process for this, maybe just take this as kind of like a basic outline and personalize it and adjust it as needed to be what's going to work the best for you and your business and the goals that you have for yourself. I know it sounds basic, but like seriously, starting with your big goal, working backwards, breaking that down into smaller little baby steps to get there is, in my opinion, the best way to be able to hit your big goals for the year. So let's go ahead and jump into this. If you guys have any questions while we go through too, like feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, DM me. We can talk about it more. But yeah, so start with your end goals. If you don't have that mapped out yet, if you don't have that lined out yet, definitely want to get on that and figure out, where do you want to be by December 31st, 2025? Okay, because this is going to be your basis for all of your planning for your entire year, whether that is your marketing, your sales, any promos you want to do, your content calendar, all of the things in between. This is going to help you plan out your year and get ahead of things, get on top of things. And in my experience, that helps cut down on burnout and overwhelm throughout the year when you are planning and you are preparing ahead. With this, I want you to get specific with your goals, down to the numbers if possible. So, if you know I want to have a full clientele by the end of 2025, I want you to figure out what does that look like for you because you can do the math and figure out what your service timing is, how many hours you want to work, how many clients you need to get, and figure out like, okay, by the end of 2025, I want to have 50 clients, right? I want you to have that number because then you can use that to work backwards, break that down into smaller pieces, and figure out, okay, what are the day-to-day things that I need to be doing to be able to hit 50 clients by the end of the year. So I use that as my example because that's the number we're working towards for social media management clients. We want to have 50 social media management clients that we are managing their social media for by the end of next year. Because as a team, we are growing as a team, we are building out our teams. And like our agency is really working on scaling next year. We have a freaking kick-ass team. I'm really excited for the growth that we're going to have. And we've got a really amazing group of women, and I'm so thrilled to be growing with that. So that's our goal. We want to have 50 clients. So with that, I was able to kind of take that and break that down and say, okay, here's how many we already have. So what's the difference between that? And then it was like, okay, I don't even remember what the number was of how many new clients we needed to get, but I was able to break that into, okay, here's how many clients I need to get per month and be able to put together a whole plan behind here's the marketing I need to do, here's the visibility I need to have, here's the sales plan that we have, here's the content calendar that we're going to have. So that way it's all based on the goals that we have as a company. And that's the same thing that you can do for yourself, whether you are a salon owner, a brand owner, an educator, whether you are a lash artist or a waxer or a spray tan artist, it doesn't matter what services you offer. You can figure out, okay, here's how many clients I want to have. Here's how many new clients I need to get each month. And then here's the plan, the marketing and the content plan that I have to help myself get that many clients per month. So, like I said, your end goal is going to be your basis for all of your planning for the year, okay? So, and you can do this with different goals too. So, it's not just how many clients you want to have by the end of the year. Maybe this is even how much money you want to make by the end of next year. I mean, really, you could break this down with any type of goal that you have. If you have like a retail sales goal that you want to hit, you can give yourself like a monthly retail sales goal. What else could there be? There's all kinds of different goals that you could work towards. Maybe you want to have a certain number of students that you teach next year, or like a certain number of podcasts that you want to be a guest on next year. There's all kinds of different things that you can plan for like this and give yourself a strategy for the year, set up your content calendar based on that. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this, but it's all going to start with getting really specific and writing down what your goals are for the year. Where do you want to be by December 31st, 2025? Write that down, get specific with it, get down to the numbers if you're able to, and then you can break those numbers down into quarterly and monthly numbers and give yourself really specific goals. And when I worked retail, one of the things that we had, just to give an example of this in a different type of setting, was we had sales goals and things based on the numbers that they did in the prior year. So that is something that you can look at too, is okay, what were my numbers for 2024? And okay, I want to increase by 25% next year, 50% next year, right? Then you can break that down and give yourself goals as far as how many clients do I need to get? Do I need to raise my prices? What do I need to be doing in retail sales? What about service add-ons? Like you can give yourself specific goals, and this is a really great way to drive growth. And especially if you have a team, it's really, I feel like, very important to have goals for your team. When I worked in a franchise studio, this was something that I was a part of because I was the lead stylist for most of the time that I was there. And so I had to break down, okay, here's our goal for the year. So this is how much per month. This is how much each stylist needs to make based on how many hours they're working, breaking down all of that math and giving each of the girls a different sales goal to reach, whether that was with retail sales or service add-ons or, whatever the different metrics that we had were. So that is something you can look at is your 2024 numbers and figuring out how much you want to grow, what's your goal for growth in 2025, what do your prices need to be for that, what do your sales goals need to be for that, and giving yourself those goals based on your previous numbers. And we also in retail had like stretch numbers too. So we would have, okay, so here's your goal. Just easy math example. Okay, you want to sell, like your goal for the day is to sell $1,000 worth, ring up $1,000 worth of purchases. Or, I mean, that was a pretty high one for the stores that I worked in, but typically it was somewhere between like 6 to 800 or more. And with that, you had your goal that was based on the prior year's numbers for that specific day. And you don't have to get that specific with it. That's just with retail. But it would that we had that goal, but then we also had a stretch goal. So if we hit our daily goal for the day, then we had a stretch goal, which is like the next step up for the day. And so, okay, you hit your goal. Now here's what you're working towards next, right? That could be another thing you look at if you really want to get specific and you really want to push yourself for growth and like in the new year is, set those stretch goals too. Okay. So for the month, like say you want to hit $500 in retail sales for the month, right? And then maybe you hit the $500. So your stretch goal is $800. You can set that for yourself. So it really just depends on what your goals are, how specific you want to get with it, how hard you want to push yourself for it. And that doesn't mean you have to be super salesy or icky sticky with your clients, but it does give you like a goal to work towards and figure out what works the best for you to hit those goals and really push yourself outside of your comfort zone to reach them. But it also is just a really great way to drive growth for the year. And really, I guess, kind of depends on how motivated and driven you are to hit those goals. And if you really are someone who is like, I have big goals for my business next year and I want to reach them, I would highly recommend you sit down and figure out these numbers because knowing your numbers is one of the number one ways to be able to actually grow your business. And it's really hard to grow and hit your goals if you don't know what your numbers are, if you don't know what your profit margins are, if you don't know like what you're making off of retail sales, or if you're not doing retail sales. Like there's a lot that can go into this, but if you do have big goals for your business next year and you truly want to grow, you've got to sit down and do some planning, set these goals and plan out your year, be prepared for it and go into it knowing, okay, I have this big goal and I'm not just going into it throwing spaghetti at the wall or posting and praying or just like winging it. You have a plan, you're prepared for it, and even if your plan doesn't go exactly according to plan, you can adjust if needed because you know what your numbers are. As you go through the year, you can check in with your numbers and see where you're at, what adjustments you might need to make. Maybe this goal needs to be a little bit more, maybe this one needs to be a little bit less, maybe you need to adjust strategy. These are the types of things that are going to set you apart from other people in your area and that are going to push you to do better and motivate you and drive you for more. This is why I've specifically laid out a very, I would say, in-depth and thorough yearly plan for Beauty Core Pro next year with the social media management company because we have huge goals for growth and we are like ready to hit the ground running with that. And so we have to be like planned it ahead. We have to be prepared for that. And we want to fricking grow like crazy. So we're going all in. We are going big with it. Start with those end goals. Let's break that down, get specific, and see what those look like. I broke this all down on Asana. It's like the project management platform that we use. You can do this in a Google spreadsheet. You can write this out on a notepad. It doesn't have to be in the same thing that I did, but it was nice to do it in Asana for myself just because I can set tasks, reminders, and it's got calendar and it'll email me, okay, you've got these tasks today. Here's what's overdue. Here's what you haven't gotten done yet. And for my ADHD brain, it keeps it all organized and in one spot. And that's what I need to help myself be successful because I know if I don't have it organized and I don't have reminders, things will fall through the cracks. So you kind of have to get to know yourself in that way. Like, what are your downfalls? What are your weaknesses? One of my weaknesses is definitely staying organized and on top of things. And especially with being a mom, I'm so forgetful these days. If I don't write it down, if it's not in a reminder on my phone, if it's not in my calendar, I will probably forget. And like my 6-year-old is like, oh, don't worry about it, Mom. I'll remind you tomorrow. He knows that he has to remind me of things. So you have to know yourself, know what you need to prepare yourself to be successful. And you don't have to feel ashamed about that. Like, it doesn't have to be like an icky sticky thing for yourself either. It can just be, I know that this is what I need to be successful, and maybe that looks different than somebody else, but you don't have to make yourself feel bad about that. Don't get in the comparison, okay? I don't want you to look at anybody else and what they're doing right now. I want you to focus on you and your business and your goals and what you need to be successful in 2025. Don't worry about all of the extra things. Don't get yourself in the comparison scrolling imposter syndrome trap first thing in the new year. Nope, nope, nope. We're not doing that. If you find yourself scrolling and doom scrolling and comparing and all that, please like recognize that and put your phone down. Like I've even had to do that the last couple of days. And so you have to be able to like recognize what you're feeling and that it's not making you feel good and refocus on yourself and your goals and what you are doing to make that a reality. Because that's really truly all that you have control of is the things that you can do, the actions that you can take and the things and that you have control over. That's all you can do. And so this is one of the things that you can do is plan your year so that you are prepared and you are in control of what you can control. With that, for a client goal specifically, I'm gonna just share a little bit about how I broke this down. So I knew, okay, we want to hit 50 clients by the end of next year. That means we need to bring on 3 to 4 new clients each month, which with our business type and our business model, this is less than probably what you're going to need to bring in. So for me, it's 3 to 4 clients. For you, that might be 5 to 10 clients, maybe more, maybe less. You figure out what it is for you. And I figured out we need to bring on 3 to 4 new clients at this rate each month to be able to hit the sales goals that we have and the client goals that we have, right? You kind of want to figure out like your pricing too. Like, okay, if I bring on this many new clients each month, what's the profitability going to look like? Because I even broke down in my yearly plan, like, okay, here's my average monthly expenses are as a business. Here's what I need to save for taxes each month. Here's what I can pay myself each month. Like it's really good to have this planned out financially so that you know, okay, when you get paid, when you earn your money, right? You can say, okay, I need to put away this much for savings. This is how much I'm paying myself. This is how much is going to expenses. Like you have that all figured out. And then you know your profit margins too. So you know what your prices need to be. Like I said, it's really important to know your numbers, but I actually broke this down for each month of next year. So, okay, we're going to bring on 3, 4 new clients each month. So here's, okay, if we brought on 3 clients, here's how much we would be bringing in a month. If we brought on 4 new clients, here's how much we would be bringing in per month. So I knew what my milestones are and what my objectives needed to be to help me get to that point. So break that down, whatever your goals are, whether that is how many clients you want to bring in, the profit you want to bring in, the revenue you want to create for the year, the sales goals that you have for retail, how many students you want to bring in, how many sales you want to have with your brand or your products. I mean, depending on what your business looks like, you're going to have different goals that you're working towards. I want you to break that down into each month. You know, what is that like logistically? What does that look like? That way, you know, hey, I need to bring in this many new clients this month. I need to make this many sales this month. This is my sales goal for January. And then from there, you have your monthly goals, right? And so you can break that down even further and get that into weekly goals or daily goals, right? I didn't break mine down into specifically like weekly and daily goals necessarily, just because I already have a really good baseline of what I need to be doing each day and each week to be able to get there. But if that's something that you don't feel clear, confident about, that you can break it down into weekly and daily goals, especially if it's a retail sale goal or something like that. It might be good to give yourself a daily goal just to have some kind of benchmark to work towards each day with your clients and each day that you take clients. You can decide whether you want to break it down that far or not, what's going to be like work the best for you. Now you can kind of look, okay, what does my marketing need to look like? What does my content calendar need to look like, right? So if you know, okay, I have a really big retail sales goal from the first quarter of the year, so January, February, March, right? And so if you're like, okay, I've got a really big retail sales goal, maybe you can run some type of retail sales promo for Valentine's Day, right? You can tie in the holidays with that. Or maybe you're talking a lot more about your retail in your content online, so you can create your content calendar with a lot more retail heavy posts in there. Now, obviously, you're going to want to put that on like every single post, right? But you could be talking about maybe a different retail product that you guys offer or that you offer like once a week or something, right? And for like retail products specifically, just because that's the example that we're talking about, as far as content goes, what's going to work the best is showing that being used, like showing the context behind it, right? So if it's like lash cleanser, okay, so you're showing how you use it in appointments, you're showing how to wash your lashes with it, you're showing how your clients use it, you're showing yourself on your stories. Oh, I'm going on a trip, taking my lash cleanser with me. Oh, I'm washing my lash to go for bed. Like you're showing it in use. It's not just like a photo of the product and saying like, here's what this is, here's why it's great. Like that's not a bad thing to do. Like those posts have their time, their place. But if you're showing it in context and the story behind it and how you're using it in your day-to-day life, or your clients using it in their day-to-day lives, why you use it during appointments, things like that, like it's gonna be a lot more effective and a lot more fun, and just a content type that people are going to engage with more. So just a little tidbit on that. But yes, so you can have your goals and then you can set out like your marketing plan. And that's not even just like your social media plan, right? So part of having a good marketing plan is you have visibility, which is you're getting visible to your target audience. So if you are a lash artist or beauty service provider, this is very likely local people in your area, right? How are you getting visible to people? How are they finding you online? And how do they know that your business exists? So this isn't just social media. This could be other visibility strategies for getting in front of them in person, maybe getting in front of them with word of mouth. Like there's different strategies that you can actually employ behind that to spread word of mouth more. So you have your visibility piece, then you have like your nurturing piece, right? Like what's your brand messaging? We've talked about this on the podcast recently. Your brand messaging, what's the highlights, what's the strengths, what do you want to be known for? Like what makes coming to you different and great? Like what types of things? What are we nurturing them? And that could be in your in-person conversations, in any kind of flyers that you do, if you go to do any events or like networking in person, what are your talking points? What's your elevator pitch, right? Don't know an elevator pitch, so YouTube it, you can put a little one together, but it's basically like a 60-second or less pitch of like, here's who I am and here's what I do and here's what benefits you, right? Nurturing piece of your marketing plan. So that nurturing, that's in person, that's your content, your messaging, your content, your brand messaging. It's important to have that really solidified for 2025. So if you're struggling with that, go back and listen to, which episode was this? I think I did it in the content strategy episode, which is a few back from this one. Go listen to that one if you need to and we talk about some brand messaging in that and talk a little more in depth on it. And then, so from your visibility to your nurturing to now your conversion piece, right, where they're actually booking the appointment. You want to make sure that it's just as easy and smooth as possible. It's very understandable. It's in terms that they understand. So even just breaking down, like on your booking site, what is volume lashes? Like, who is that going to be best for? Who is that not a good option for? What look is that going to get them? Because typically most of your average potential clients come in only knowing what end look they want, right? So you need to make sure you're explaining what each service is, make it really understandable for them in lingo that they can understand, and make it just super easy to book with you. And that's really going to help you increase your booking rate and like your conversion rates from this. And that's like my very watered down, simple, easy 3-step marketing strategy. You've got your visibility, you've got your nurturing, you've got your very easy to book piece, right? Your conversions. With that, you can put together, okay, so I know I want to get, so for me, I'll just use my numbers as an example. I want to get 4 new social media management clients in January. So now I know, okay, marketing strategy. What am I doing for visibility? What am I doing for nurturing? What am I doing to make becoming a client very easy, right? And that, like the client experience behind that, that's important for you as well. And so with visibility, okay, maybe I can go to this networking event. There's a chamber of commerce event in my area. There's a business networking event in my area. That could be different visibility pieces. Visibility could also be doing outbound engagement and engaging with people in your area online. It could be getting in local Facebook groups and posting in there. It like there's so many different ways to get visible to your ideal audience, but you want to know who that is, where they're spending their time and how to get in front of them, because that's your visibility tactics. And those are the types of things that you can now schedule in your day-to-day thing, right? I know that I want to be doing visibility activities or actions like a few times a week at minimum, if not daily. Like when I was doing lashes, I was doing visibility things daily to get in front of my local area, right? And so with that, that's how you can know, okay, here's my goal. Okay, now I know I need to get this amount of visibility. And so here's what I can do each day to get that visibility, right? And then you can look at, okay, nurturing, okay, my brand messaging. What am I doing day to day or week to week to be able to nurture my audience, to build out my brand, to really solidify who we are as a business and these selling points and these highlights that I want to get across to this audience, right? And so you can think about that in terms of your content. What are you posting? You can create your content plan for that for the week. You can be, even in DMs, your DM conversations, your in-person conversations, the conversations you have with your clients in person, you can really think about what does that logistically look like day to day to be nurturing my audience and really building a strong brand and having strong brand messaging. And so from there, making your booking process easy. I feel like this isn't one you necessarily need to focus on day to day, except for maybe like if you're taking DMs for appointments, then that might look a little bit different where you need to show up for that booking process more day to day. But it would be a good thing to maybe even just look at your booking site and do a little refresh on it for the new year. And if you're unsure, like have someone that like a family or friend who isn't very well versed in your services, look through your booking site and see where they get stuck at. Watch them navigate through it, watch them read through things and see what feedback they give you. And you can do this with a couple different people, get the feedback and make some adjustments and just do a refresh on the site going into the new year. And that's something that you can do quarterly or a couple times a year. I would probably at least do it a couple times a year just to keep things fresh, especially if you change up services or anything like that, change up pricing, just make sure everything is very detailed, understandable, and just simple, easy to read. Your fonts are easy to read. I know the fun fonts are fun, but they are not easy to read. You want it to be legible, okay? And like the colors that you use, it's got to be like dark and light. You've got to have that good contrast so that's easy to read. You can't put like a light color on a light color or a dark color on a dark color. You really got to think about the visuals of it and how easy and straightforward is this and understandable is this? How easy is this to read? How cluttered is this? Could I've been like with past students and people I've mentored, that's when one of the things we've talked about is like, okay, I'm taking a look at your booking site. It's very cluttered. It's very hard to read. I can see why a potential client might jump on this and get really overwhelmed with all of this and not book. And so you want to make it as easy, straightforward, and understandable as possible to book with you. Take a look at that going into the new year. So with these big goals that you have, you've got your monthly goals now, right? And now you can plan out your marketing and you can break that down into, okay, here's what I'm going to do each month, right? Maybe you're like, okay, I'm going to go to one in-person networking event each month, right? Whether that's a Chamber of Commerce event, a business event, maybe it's like a local women's night, or I don't know, there's all kinds of different events out there. See what's going on in your area. You could do expos, bridal shows, all kinds of things, right? So maybe you have a goal for your visibility piece to do one event a month, right? So for me, at the point that I'm in with my business, one of my visibility goals is to be on a podcast guest on other podcasts. My goal is like once a month or like once every other month, just because time commitment wise, I don't necessarily have the time to do like more than that. But I do have that goal. So then I know, okay, how many podcasts do I need to pitch to? Who can I make stronger connections with? Those types of things so that I can help myself reach that goal. So if you're more into like education or your brand owner things, like you can do that with, if you do want to be podcast guests, or maybe you have different visibility tactics, like you're doing live videos every week and educating, or there's different strategies that you can do, but you do need these different pieces so you can figure out what your marketing plan is going to be, what your sales plan is going to be, what your content is going to be, and you can kind of like at least map out or outline like a basic content plan of like, here's what our focuses are going to be for each month. Like, okay, February, we're going to run some kind of like Valentine's Day promo. We're going to talk about retail more. January, maybe we're doing more of like focusing on getting new clients in the door. So we're going to base a lot of our content around new client. March, spring break, what can we do for that? Like you can kind of figure out like, okay, at least a basic content plan for the year. And then as the time gets closer, you can figure out more of like what your day-to-day posts are going to be. But this yearly plan does help you get at least a general outline of what that content plan needs to look like to help you hit the monthly and quarterly and yearly goals that you have for yourself next year. I feel like this gives you a lot of good things to work on, because it does. I mean, I spent at least a few hours or more on this, just figuring out, okay, here's what our goals for the year are. Here's, okay, what my quarter one objective. So I try to do it like quarterly, so I don't like to overwhelm myself too much. So I have our quarter one objectives and goals. So I have our goals for the year written out, then our quarter one objectives and goals. So, okay, I need to hire this person. I want to onboard this many clients per month. And so for you, this might be like, okay, I want to have this many sales in retail. I want to have this many new clients per month. I want to add this new service on. And so another one of our goals is like we want to increase visibility because we're really working on scaling and getting new clients and growing our team. And so with that, we need a lot more visibility. Okay. So that might be something for you. If you have a big goal for new clients, okay, we need to increase our visibility in our local area. So what visibility activity can I be doing daily, monthly to be able to get in front of people and get them knowing about my business? Because you basically want to be bringing in this cold audience into your warm audience, right? Cold audience, people who don't know you, who don't know who you are, they don't know what your business is, they don't know basically anything about you. Your warm audience, they know about you, they've heard of you before, they know what you do, kind of. And then your hot audience, those are like your really warm leads, right? Your hot leads. They know who you are, they like you, they trust you, book with you, they're interested in booking with you. Maybe they're asking you some questions, DMs, they're showing interest in booking an appointment with you. Those are more of your hot leads, right? So your visibility piece is bringing your cold audience into your as a warm audience member, right? And then your nurturing pieces, your content strategy, your brand messaging, all of those pieces are more, that's you're warming up that warm audience to be a hot lead, right? So you're bringing them through this process, and that's a process you can repeat over and over again with your marketing and your content. Those can all be catered to the goals that you have, right? You can create your marketing strategy and your content plan around the goals that you have to help support yourself in reaching those goals for the year. So, okay, I want a lot of new clients. I need more visibility, right? Maybe you have a lot of local people who follow you online already, but they're not a client of yours. Then okay, I have a decent warm audience online. How can we nurture them more? How can we warm them up into becoming a hot lead to be converting into being a client, right? You can really be creating your content around that and your marketing strategy around, your warm audience. You're not necessarily bringing people from your cold audience and your warm audience, like with audience growth, but you're trying to nurture and warm up that warm audience into converting and being a client of yours. And so these are all pieces of marketing strategy, content strategy that we get, obviously with our business as being social media managers, we get nitty gritty of that. So I wanted to just give you like an idea behind that so that you can just see, okay, what can be the most beneficial to help me reach my goals and just have like a better plan for yourself next year and be creating your strategies around the goals that you have to help support yourself in hitting those so you can be really well prepared and you can have these things planned out and then okay, I need these videos, I need these pictures, and okay, I need to go to these events, put this referral program in place, I need to create a rewards program to create more loyalty within my own clientele. Or you can say, okay, we're going to do a client appreciation event this month, or we're going to do this Valentine's event, we're going to do this event for spring break, where you can plan out your year and know what's coming up and what's going to help support you to reach your sales goals, reach your client goals for the year, reach whatever goals that you have in your business, because it doesn't matter if you're a lash artist or spray tan artist, boxer, educator, brand owner, social media manager like myself, you can create anything that you want next year, if you're planning and you're preparing for it and you're taking that action towards it. And then also there's all the mindset pieces to it too. That's just you stay in your own lane, girl. You do your thing and you focus on you. And I know that's easier said than done. I get distracted sometimes too, but we are staying focused. We're hitting 2025 hard, and I'm really excited for you. If you need help with this, if you have questions on this, feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, I did one in what's called a sauna, and it's really nice because I just laid this all out in the project description. Okay, here's our goals for the year. Here's our quarter one objectives and goals. Here's our current monthly, how much we're bringing in monthly. Here's our current average expenses per month. Here's how much we need to save for taxes every month. Here's how much I'm going to pay myself every month. And then you can, like for myself, lay down, okay, here's how many clients I want to get per month. Here's how much income to bring, and mapping that out for each month. And then here are year-long totals, here's our goal revenue for the year. And then I was able to take task that out into, okay, here's the visibility actions we need to take. Here's the nurturing actions we need to take. Here's how we can make our sales easier and make becoming a client of ours easier, and actually like create tasks for that on Asana and put them on the calendar. And so then I can assign that out to my team if I need to. I can assign that out to myself so I get reminders. But it literally, our goals are planned out, at least for first quarter. I know what's coming up. I know what content needs to be created. I know what needs to happen so that we can get our 4 new clients for January. So we can get our 4 new clients for February. So I want you to be that prepared as well, where you know, okay, I want 10 new clients in January, or I want to make $2,000 with this new service I'm adding on as an add-on service, whether it's like permanent jewelry or waxing or something, something different than what you normally do. You can have the preparation ahead of time to know, okay, I'm going to talk about this in my content. I need these photos, I need these pictures. I'm gonna post this on this day. You can plan that all out, your content calendar out, which if you need help with that, a few episodes of that content strategy, that's going to be your BFF. And you know, like, okay, I need these visibility pieces. I'm going to put these different pieces into place and take these actions so that you are able to hit those goals or exceed those goals, or at very minimum get very close to hitting whatever goal you have set for yourself. So I'm cheering you on, girl. You're gonna do so well this year. I'm so excited for you. And just I want you to go into January this month and just like clear out any of those negative limiting beliefs. Do not let that little voice in your head bring you down. Okay. I want you to stay focused. I want you to remember that you have opportunity all around you. There are clients who want to book with you. There are clients who will pay your prices. No questions asked. There are people who can't afford to pay your prices right now. Okay. And you can't afford the ongoing expense of these services. I want you to keep that open mindset. Okay. No more of these limiting beliefs. We are not playing small this year. This is your year to go big. This is your year to remember who you are and what you are capable of, and know that you can create anything that you want in your life with the right mindset and the right action being taken behind it. So those are the two pieces I truly believe in. Remember that you have all these opportunities around you. Go into this with a good mindset. And if you find yourself kind of slipping on that, you know, be self-reflective of that. I don't want you to get like caught up in, oh, I'm not good enough. This client canceled, and then taking it so personally. We've got to learn to not take everything personally. And there are other people who out there who are the clients for you. You are amazing. You're going to do incredible things with your business. I want you to check in on this plan. Once you get it all done, check in on this plan at least once a month or at least quarterly even. And just see where you're at with things, just if you need to. But stick with it, keep with it, and I promise you're going to make a big difference with you being able to reach your goals and like the sales you do, the revenue you do, the clients and the opportunities that you bring to yourself. Okay. Focus. I am cheering you on so hard. DM me on Instagram if you have questions. XO Erica Schramm, and I am going to put a free content guide in the show notes. So if you want to go grab that, maybe some different content ideas going into the new year. I love you. Have a wonderful January, wonderful 2025. Make sure you are subscribed to the show wherever you listen to podcasts at. We have new episodes coming out every Tuesday morning, really early. We've got some really incredible guests coming up. We've got Lash Biz conference coming up in May. Tickets are going to be going on sale for that at the end this month, so keep a lookout for that. I love you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening, and have a happy 2025.